Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Cup Conversations. It's Monday, November 2nd, and I'm glad that we have a few minutes together this morning to kick off our week. So, when I was growing up, I never thought that I was going to leave York County. I'm a good old York County girl, born and raised, and I had lots of friends. I went to the same school for 13 years, close to my biological family and all my relatives, and so I never really had any desire to move away. I loved York, but God had different plans, and I am going to share a mug with you this morning from a friend that I made because I obeyed God's plan for me. He knows what's best for us, and sometimes it stretches us. It takes us out of our comfort zone. But I met a dear friend, she's a soul sister, when we lived in Toccoa, Georgia, and she actually became my neighbor. Her name is Cindy Zimmerman, and she's one of those friends that we can be apart for a long, long time, and we get back together, it's like we were never apart. So we have so many things in common, and I just love her dearly. So a few weeks back, I received a package in the mail, and it didn't have any cards or anything in it, but inside of this box was this cool mug, and it said, "I wish you lived next door." I thought it was really, really cool, and I was excited because it matched my outfit. So anyway, we did live next door, and so she reached out over my birthday and said, "I hope you liked your mug." So until she connected with me, it was a mystery. She was on the list of people that I could think it was from, but I wasn't sure. And so I couldn't really thank anybody. So she reached out, said, "Happy birthday, I hope you got your mug." And then I was like, it was Cindy. So I could tell her thank you, and I've enjoyed drinking out of it. And it really inspired me to think about our neighbors. And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk to you about. And actually, it's kind of cool because I was thinking about doing this. I feel like I always ask the Lord kind of to inspire me during the week. And a lot of times it connects with what Brian teaches on. So that's kind of a cool confirmation. So yesterday he was talking about us shining the love and hope of Jesus with those around us, that we are sacred space. And it's not a building, it's not the fancy new fellowship hall or the sanctuary at the original building. You know what? God resides, His Spirit resides in us. And so wherever we are, it's kind of a crazy thought, but it's a holy space. So He really did a great job yesterday of challenging us to go out this week. It's going to be a crazy week. Tomorrow it's kind of a day that I think we're all half dreading. And so this is a week that we can shine hope and love, be an ambassador to Jesus to our neighbors. So I want you to think about the people that live on your block. Let's talk about your literal neighbors. When we moved back to York, I was bummed about the neighborhood situation because we're kind of spread out. It's just not like conducive to interacting a whole lot. We're right here on this main street. But what we left back in Colorado was a block of good friends from all different places, cultures, walks of life. And over the 14 years that we lived at that house, we became family with our neighbors. And it was a blessing through the highs and the lows, deaths, emergencies in the middle of the night, so many things that happened. And so it was hard to say goodbye to our neighbors. And I have times where I'm wishing that they lived next door. So I've really had to ask God to give me a heart and a passion to make the effort to meet my neighbors here in York, around Windham Hills. I read this quote by the famous Winnie the Pooh, and it says, "You can't stay in your corner of the forest waiting for others to come to you. You have to go to them sometimes." And so over this whole COVID situation, Jonas and I, we made little Easter buckets, took them to our neighbors, got to meet a few of them. But it's been a slow process, and you know, you want to keep it real and authentic. So sometimes you just have to look for moments and opportunities. And as I was walking around taking the dog for a walk, I've seen all these different vote for Biden, vote for Trump, you know, nobody's great, we're in a bad shape for 2020, all these differing opinions. And it kind of just makes this feeling of division as I'm walking around, which makes my heart sad, because you have literally next door neighbors that are voting for different people and they have their signs in their yard, and it just seems kind of like this big barrier. So my challenge to all of us this week is to look for opportunities to be bridges of love and caring and harmony. And maybe if you do go for walks this week, when the weather gets a little warmer later in the week, pray for harmony and unity, and pray for our country and for our neighborhood, and for our hearts, because I think sometimes when we know our neighbors kind of have a different philosophy of life or different lifestyle, whatever, different belief system, it can be easy to just kind of stay away or pull apart. But we need to take the hope that we have into the world. And so that can be as simple as a plate of chocolate chip cookies, or share some vegetables that you have, anything like that. Take a card over if you know that they've had surgery, or but you got to put yourself out there. You kind of have to go to them. You can't always wait for them, like Winnie the Pooh said. So Colossians 1:27, Brian made reference of this to his sermon yesterday, and he talked about, let me just turn it here, 127. Sorry, I lost my place. So he was talking about, to them God has chosen to make known among the Gentiles the glorious riches of this mystery, which is Christ in you, Christ in me, the hope of glory. So may we be shining his glory to those that we encounter this week. May we pray for harmony and peace and love to roll in our hearts and into the hearts of those around us. So praying for you this week. Remember, your little children are watching you and listening, not to put pressure on you, but just a gentle reminder that we are teaching our kids how to share the hope of glory that we have within. So pause, hold for a moment, and make sure that what we say and how we respond is a true reflection of the heart of Jesus for the people that we are seeing. So God bless you. Have a great week, and I'll look forward to sharing a cup of coffee with you next time.